So, I want to start this video with a short poem that I wrote titled and beautiful. When they tell me to apply lipstick, when they tell me to put on foundation, I feel unbeautiful. When they tell me to hide my scars, when they tell me to color my cheeks, I feel unbeautiful. Highlighters and correctors are used for what? What is there to beautify in me? What is there to correct in me? The lost souls have forgotten that I am imperfection to be loved. I understand those women who think red lipstick is their liberation because they have been told you're not beautiful enough. The ego never opened its mouth to talk about the beauty. It talks about what you don't have. The souls feel incomplete, unbeautiful. I feel unbeautiful. So, am I against makeup? No, I am not against makeup. I know there are a whole lot of women who feel so passionate about makeup and they like the whole idea and it's like an art to them. And then there are women who feel makeup is a kind of a rebel for them. How red lipstick is usually associated with boldness, how it is associated with rebellion. So there are different ways of viewing the same thing or different ways of doing the same thing, but my story is different. So I had while growing up I had an acne, okay, in my teenage years. That leaves me with acne scars in my adulthood, which are not very visible in the camera, but yes, they are there. And so people, out of concern, not really malicious or something, but out of concern, because they have been programmed with the idea of beauty, so they were also trying to tell people around them to be programmed like that, because according to them that is only the way of their living. So they have told me out of concern, to hide my scars, get some makeup done, and or maybe get some weird treatments that are there. So yeah, but I have, and that was the first time I felt, okay, wait a minute, I have to also think about that. Like, I was not thinking about it already, because and now since they have made me to think about it, now the question that arises in me, not a question, it was such a big conflict that arose in me. It was a spiritual conflict, because I am also a spiritual seeker, and I felt it was so much in conflict with with the with all of this that I was feeling, this insecurity that I was feeling. And insecurity is something that goes deep down into your subconscious and unconscious mind, and that's how you learn it, okay. And so of course it went down into my subconscious and unconscious minds, and after, and it really came to my conscious mind after some years or some months. That is how it happens. So you might not feel that much affected, or you might just feel slight moments of effect, being affected by things, but it gradually rises up over the over the months or over the years when it really comes to your conscious mind. So there were times when I was sitting with my phone at 3 a.m. in the night, trying to just search what all treatments are there so that I can get it done. But at that time I knew I will buy into this idea of perfection of people. I will buy this idea of beauty from people. I never thought like that, but they are not trying to tell me, because they are so enslaved to the idea of beauty that way. So they are trying to tell me, and I felt it quite a conflict with my spiritual identity as well, because spiritually we try to move towards acceptance rather than perfection. So I have to accept myself the way I am, rather than running after perfection. In spirituality we say, if we go back to God after death, he doesn't accept us, if we don't accept us. So he sends us back, and we take births, and till we really learn the acceptance of ourselves, till we really break away from the ideas of society and the ideas they're trying to sell us. He doesn't accept us. He doesn't accept us in our inferiority complex. He doesn't accept us in our superiority complex. So also I just wanted to have beyond body experiences while I was in my I was in my 20s and was growing up. I wanted to have beyond body experiences because I always was a spiritually inclined girl. So And how can I move beyond body if I invest into my body experiences, if I invest into my bodily insecurities? In spirituality we see body as a tool, okay, as a, it has more functional value rather than how it looks on the surface, on a superficial level, right? So I always felt a conflict with that. And it was so, I never, like, I don't think so any other thing has made me wake up so much at night as this thing has made me to wake up and just, I was so much in a conflict, what to do, what to do. But I don't know how it happened, but I felt more spiritually inclined, and thank God I didn't go and did something stupid, with my skin. I know I would have gotten a perfect skin and something like this, and things would have been good, because I don't have that much of scars or something that, I have mild scarring. So I know things would have gotten perfect, and I could afford those stupid expensive treatments too, and everything would have been just so sorted, and but once you enter this, no, it will magnetize yourself into more and more, more and more. So somewhere inside me I knew they are trying to, you know take away my idea of beauty, which is real, which is original. They are trying to sell me their idea of beauty. Remember there was a time when, this zero figure thing just came up so much, and models were literally collapsing on ramps. They were literally collapsing because they weren't having food, because they were sold this idea of beauty, this idea of a certain shape. They were sold that shape in their head, in their minds. And it has just penetrated so deep inside our conscious and subconscious mind that we bought that. And I and if you remember, in between there was uh, we have a very large history of blacks and whites, even, how they sold us that only whites were beautiful and not black. Okay, but now see how the time has changed, and how Miss Universes and, Miss World and something, we have black women also in them now. But imagine there was a time when they let a whole, black people come into slavery, just because they sold them this idea that black is not beautiful and whites are more superior, whites are more closer to God, and blacks are not. Imagine they sold us that idea, and everybody bought into that idea. Okay, everybody bought into that idea. So, and literally, you never came with those ideas. You just learned it, while you were growing up. You learned these ideas, subconsciously, unconsciously, you learned these ideas. And they take you away from God. And I don't know, I feel that how I came is how I want to leave this earth, just without these ideas, without investing in these ideas. So, and also, like, at that point when, people were telling me, and I was going through a very conflict inside, I was going through this fire inside me, like, what to do. I know, like, some money I can get my things done, and on the other side I was like, I don't want to focus on this. I have a whole lot of spiritual journey to cover, and a whole lot of magical experiences I want to have, and I want to know God, and I want to know everything. And how will I do this if I invest into my insecurities? I don't know if you really get the whole idea of how it is just totally opposite ideas. I don't know if you're able to really get how they're totally opposite ideas, but I knew it in my heart that these are totally opposite ideas of what I want to have and what are they trying to make me do. So yeah, I never got the idea why can't I be ugly? Like, it's okay, why? And they have reduced, women to their bodies a lot. I'm sorry, they have reduced these, there were demons and stuff in the past. Not only in the past, they're also there in the present, and I feel that they're more in industries, in big industries like that, producers, directors. How they just want women, the actor should look beautiful. Then nothing to do with the role, nothing to do with the acting. Actresses have themselves said it, in interviews, how they were forced to wear a certain way, how they were, so, just being subjected to how they look and item numbers and stuff like that. So yeah, it just made me so angry, somehow, that how these demons are deciding and how these demons are actually reducing women to their bodies, and women is so much more. When I had spiritual experiences, I discovered myself to be Prakriti. I discovered myself that I'm so much of nature, nature's girl. And you don't go and tell a tree that you change your color. You change your color from green to red. You change your color from brown to yellow. You don't go and tell a tree, right? And imagine, it could also happen, I mean, these capitalists, these greedy capitalists could sell you like anything. And it's not a big thing, there could be a time when they want to say that everyone should have a tree in front of their houses, and whosoever tree is more greener, will have a more social standing in the in this world or in this society. So, and they will sell you these pesticides, insecticides to make your tree more greener, and by doing that they would also reduce the functionality of the tree, right? So, but they could sell you anything. They just have to slip an idea into your mind, into your deep subconscious and unconscious mind, and now they will play on that. They will play and they will buy money on that idea that they have just told you. Get perfect skin, get whiter skin, and whatnot. Oh my god, they are even trying to. I can't believe that some people are trying to have nose job done. Literally, I can't believe the whole idea that they're even trying to, adjust their noses. And the so I was hearing this one actress out there, and she was telling, how some producer director told her that you should get your nose done, and if you get your nose done, you'll be perfectly beautiful. How can beauty be perfect? How can beauty be perfect even? It just makes me so angry. She was already so beautiful, and and I know these industries and everything is just a sick place, because they are trying to make women a certain way, and how every other actress is going into that, and it just makes me so angry. I am not angry on actresses. I am more angry on how people are trying to play on our insecurities, how people are trying to play on, play on these ideas of beauty. I just hope we don't repeat the history, and yeah, even while I was a child and I was growing up, I hated the whole idea how everyone had a perfect skin, no one had an acne, and all of this. I don't know. I don't get it. In spirituality, we move more towards acceptance, okay? And we cannot, and I had to accept myself the way I am, okay? I cannot move towards perfection. I cannot buy their ideas. It was just so, threatening in some ways. Let me know in the comment section if you had a certain experience like that, and you felt a little conflicted, in your spiritual journey. Some ideas that society was telling you and you felt a conflict with your spiritual journey. So let me know in the comment section.